benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement.
Most resolutions for the new year fail before January is even over. Why not resolve to just be a little bit cleaner in 2026? Nebraska Auto Detail is here for you. Now through March 30th, if you purchase a ceramic coating, you'll get a free interior detail. There's no better way to start your year than taking care of your car and decluttering the mess that it becomes so easily. Book your detail today at NebraskaAutoDetail.com or call Joe and the team at 402-601-5086.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt.
Terrell Farley.
Defending Terrell Farley,
who last week in his first start was a holy terror. Number 43.
And Jake Bockoven. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Powered by Bauer.
Welcome to Bock the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. It is K-Dub Tuesday, but we're going to do it without Kenny Wilhite today. He will be out, had something to do, but the show must go on, Bock.
That's right. We're still celebrating K-Dub Tuesday, even though he's not here. I appreciate it. Yeah, he said he's speaking with Jeff Jamrog out there at Midland, talking some ball with the coaching staff. So we were going to talk some ball with him, but we can maybe always do that next week. So hopefully it's a good time, productive meeting, if you will, out there.
I guess whoever's the first girls flag football coach needs to go down to Midland, because that's that school we seen
right
before. But K-Dub deserves a day off, man. Everybody does. He's a hardworking guy.
Oh yeah,
works out a lot. Works out more than me. I got to give him credit on that. He plays racquetball, kind of everything. I told him I could beat him in racquetball, I think, Bock. I used to be pretty good. I used to be pretty good at racquetball.
I fell in love with racquetball for maybe, I don't know, a 2-month stretch. And
handball.
Handball. Yeah.
Handball. I was good at handball.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, when I played when I was up in Wisconsin at the Packers, I started playing handball with a lot of guys. So,
good workout.
Great workout, especially with that little ball and just trying to hustle and stuff. All right, Bock, we're going to talk about a lot of stuff today. First, we're going to talk about the Pro Bowl tonight.
That's right.
Pro Bowl on a Tuesday. Doesn't sound right.
Sounds very strange.
Sounds strange. Sounds like something's made up. Pro Bowl on a Tuesday. Bock, imagine a guy telling you tonight, hey, man, I'm going to go home and get me a 12-pack of beer. I'm going to watch the Pro Bowl.
Sounds about right, but on a Tuesday sounds kind of weird. And then if you add in the fact that he's going to go watch flag football throughout it, it hurts it even more. I mean, the Pro Bowl is maybe, I think, close to an all-time low. I mean, I know, you look at the NBA All-Star Game, they're putting together 3 teams this year, and there's going to be 2 world teams, and then there's going to be one world team, and then 2 American teams, and so I mean, everybody's trying to find different ways to make these more entertaining, more interesting. Of course, we kind of participated a little bit, saw the Husker games this past year, had to go outside the spring game format. And anytime you kind of get outside of football, it can't keep your it's not the event, right? It's not going to be the same event. Then throw in the fact that, they're Joe Flacco and Shedeur Sanders, two of the 4 in the preseason for that Cleveland Browns job, right? Who would have guessed at that time that 2 of them would have made the Pro Bowl? Problem is neither one of them numbers really equal that. So, it's not the honor it once was. It's not the vacation it once was. It's just not what it once was. So it is interesting. This is the first day they're moving it off of Sunday, though, and this is all supposed to kind of flow into Super Bowl weekend getting going here. But Yeah, I mean, I got to be completely honest. It's very low on my radar tonight.
I know, Bob. First, you got the AFC, NFC 7-on-7 flag football with coaches Jerry Rice and Steve Young.
Okay, yeah.
So-
Again, integrating the San Francisco locals, the favorites.
I don't know, Bob. I haven't watched Pro Bowl probably since they stopped tackling. Just like Barley's spring games when we talk about it. Now we're going to go back to the regular spring game mode here at Nebraska, which I think is a good thing because, I think college football is already too much of a celebrity thing when you talk about not having spring football. Kids have to be on TikTok or Facebook dancing, showing their dancing moves. It's all about notoriety and who's the most popular for NIL value and stuff. But yeah, Bach, it's just crazy how this game is set up on a Tuesday, though.
Yeah, it is, and we'll see. I mean, I'm very intrigued by the spring game and what they do there. I do think there are elements of what they did in the Husker games last year that could be fun, specifically getting you out there and rolling tires again. Maybe if you'd be up to that, but bringing back some of the bigger names, and again, that's what the Pro Bowl's doing. You get Steve Young and Jerry Rice out there. There's a reason for somebody locally to go out and cheer for one of their favorites growing up, so I'm interested to see, especially what the spring game looks like. We know it's going to be at an earlier date. Could be, much of the talk has been already that it could be on a day where Nebraska might be playing in the Elite Eight. It will be a day, one way or the other, where the Elite Eight is playing. Whether Nebraska will be in the Elite Eight is one thing. Whether Nebraska would be playing in the Elite on that day or the Sunday would be another thing. So, it is definitely interesting to see how it plays out. But as far as the Pro Bowl goes, again, I think it's it can be. I mean, there are elements that maybe can be good. You talk about guys that have earned it, going out there, getting some TV time without the face being covered up by a helmet. Maybe you can help maybe your NIL deals there, a little bit more recognizable and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody's going to be taking this too seriously, and that really hurts the product. And that's why, going away from even the tackling game is when people aren't taking it seriously, and it's not a competitive matchup. And we talk about this with the NBA All-Star game. There's just defense optional. It's just hard to pull off All-Star games these days. And I don't know what the answer is, especially for the NFL. Again, in basketball, at least you can, they've got the dunk contest and the free three-point contest, and at least there's some form of competitive ball out there. If you can get, one-on-one or even these kind of breakdowns going, shorter games, to kind of keep the competitiveness up there. But in football, you take out the tackling aspect, which you have to do. These guys make too much money. There's no incentive to win, at least not compared to what's going to be on the team. It makes it very difficult. So you do these, skills competitions, all that sort of stuff. I'm intrigued by that. I think it's kind of fun. People might tune in, but it's not like a set it aside and make sure you get to the game and you're going to go talk about it at the water cooler the next day. It's just kind of can be background noise. And I suppose, that NFL's leaning into that by putting it on a Tuesday. It feels more like a background event.
Well, Buck, they won't get any event, any audience time for me tonight. I'm not watching it. So good luck on that part.
If there's a Husker in it, I mean, is there anything on your team? There is. Okay,
there's two
that's
of them. Cam Jurgensen and
Luke Gifford.
Luke Gifford, yeah. Two Huskers. I don't know what Cam Jurgensen can do on 7-on-7. I don't know if they're having a center or what, but
yeah. And then like special teams. I mean, that's I just don't know. And again, maybe flag football. I am interested. Obviously, the University of Nebraska is going to bring women's flag football to the forefront. Was the first Power 4 team to introduce that here in the last month or so. And so maybe that sport can kind of grow, first kind of through the women, if maybe, especially locally, you start paying attention a little bit more to that. But altogether, I mean, even, I don't know, would you be more interested in, I have to try to, like 7-on-7, like you said. I went to those events, and that could be fun for a second, and for a while, I guess. We went to the one at Memorial Stadium where they brought in the top high school players, or some of the top high school 7-on-7 teams. But even that, it just is missing so much from the actual game. that it's hard to, one, evaluate, and two, kind of entertain. So we'll see. Again, these guys can do backflips and maybe add some more. What do they have? Like, I think it's not on Nickelodeon. I think it's on Disney this year. So I don't know, have Mickey Mouse in the end zone or something. I'm not sure, but yeah, we'll see. And if you do watch it, let us know, because I'm with you, Terrell. I might check out and try to see a few highlights, but I've just got better things to do than watch flag football, regardless of how good those flag football players might be.
Yeah, I don't have time for that. I'll be probably riding around trying to do something productive of the day. All right, Bock. A lot of people grumbling here in the NFL when we talk about one of the best coaches and owners ever in a football league didn't make the NFL Hall of Fame. Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick were not selected for the class of 26 for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and again, it's another one of those deals where it's kind of surprising to see. Now, Kraft has been up for this nomination before, and so it's not his first time, which, so maybe less shocking than it was for Belichick. People thought that maybe it was kind of either or, it might be taking votes away from each other, similar to how, that can happen if you've got two Heisman Trophy finalists on the same team, that sort of deal. But it looks like he's not going to get enough votes to be selected. And I mean, I'm still going to be in the same category I was there with Bill Belichick, where it's like, this is the most dominant NFL franchise. And that happened when this kind of ownership and coaching group got together. Now, Tom Brady, obviously, big part of that, all the players that went through that organization, huge part of that. But if you have owners in the Hall of Fame and Robert Kraft is not one of them, I think it kind of hurts the argument a little bit, right? And they do have owners in the Hall of Fame. Jerry Jones is in the Hall of Fame. So I don't know. I mean, just hearing from different people, it's like, if anybody can see it, right? Everybody can see it. Anybody that's watched NFL for the last 20 years could say that's got to be a Hall of Famer. I don't know what other category, who else you could throw if that's not the case from an owner standpoint. Then what is the criteria? I mean, who are the people voting? And you start to doubt that kind of process and those people, and it makes you kind of look at the whole thing a little bit sideways. And like baseball Hall of Fame's got their own arguments about numbers and who can go back, and the steroid era, all that sort of stuff. But this is just like flat out looking the other way. And again, maybe it's Deflategate. Maybe it's, if you cheat, you're not going to get these votes, from anywhere along the way. That's got to be the only thing that's holding these people back. Now, I will say the positive out of this is that this means either Roger Craig, Ken Anderson, or LC Greenwood will get in, and potentially all of them. Because there has to be at least one from the group. Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick were kind of in this category. Excuse me, Robert Kraft was. And so, this could be the year for Roger Craig, and I especially feel good about it because it will be announced Thursday at the NFL Honors in San Francisco. So I think the rest of the nation still is going to be befuddled by this, but this might be a good opportunity for Nebraska fans who've been, I mean, since I started doing radio and even before then, clamoring for Roger Craig to get in the Hall of Fame. This could finally be the year.
I hope so, Bock. It seems like he's been waiting forever. You got to talk about one of the most explosive running backs back in my childhood when you talk about playing with Tecmo Bowl. And when you talk about Roger Craig, you talk about a guy who did it with 1,000 yards on the ground and 1,000 yards receiving, a high-stepping magician, or would be a great band conductor if you look how high he gets his legs. But, I think enough is enough when we talk about why is Roger Craig not in the Hall of Fame. And I think it's silly. I think it hurts football. I mean, if you look at guys like Steve Young, Joe Montana, Ronnie Lott, they say he deserved to be in there. George Seifert would say he deserved to be in there. And a lot of people in Nebraska think he should be in there. And I'm one of those people just because he was a childhood hero of mine. Now, I didn't know anything about Nebraska or where he went to school at probably till 1995 or 6 or 7. So, Roger Craig deserves to be in the Hall of Fame 100%.
Yeah, and we'll see if you're kind of unfamiliar a little bit with Ken Anderson and LC Greenwood, who are going up against him. Again, they could all be included in the Hall of Fame, so it's not even necessarily against. But when you're looking for more of those votes, Ken Anderson, longtime quarterback in the league, MVP of the league in 1981, made a few Pro Bowls to spend his entire career there with the Bengals. And it's hard to go back and do these, kind of touchdown to interception ratios because they don't look as good for guys that played in the 70s and 80s compared to what they do now. But that's going to put him, he's going to have an opportunity to be in there, two-time passing yards leader in 74 and 75. And again, four-time Pro Bowler, one-time first team All-Pro. Those are similar to what Roger Craig put up. And again, I mean, the resume is just very similar outside of the titles, right, for Roger Craig. Because there were none for Ken Anderson, but he does have that kind of 1 year where he was the offensive player of the year, similar with Roger Craig. LC Greenwood was a defensive end for those Pittsburgh Steelers teams of the 70s. So he's got more of those championships, 4-time Super Bowl champions, first team All-Pro twice in his career, was part of the 1970s All-Decade team, and a 6-time Pro Bowler. Unfortunately, he passed away back in 2013. So, we'd love to see these guys get their due when they're still here with us. And that's where you hope, Roger Craig gets included in that. But that's his competition, if you will, for the Hall of Fame. We'll see on Thursday if he finally gets in.
All right, Bock, when we talk about, we talked about Roger Craig. Let's talk about guys who's got in, but we question it sometimes. If I can put a guy like Roger Craig numbers against a guy like Sterling Sharp, let's say, Bock. Sterling Sharp career was cut short.
Mm-hmm.
Did he have the yards? Did he have the catches? Did he have the touchdowns? Did he have everything to make him a Hall of Famer, Bock?
Yeah, it's a good question. Kind of go back to what he's at least got on his resume: 3-time reception leader, 1-time reception yards leader. Of course, played for the Packers his entire career, but like you said, was not a very long career. So, that's kind of difficult. But look at his seasons that he did play from 88 to 94. He had his final 6 seasons. He had 5,000-yard receiving years, and the 1 year he missed was he had 961. Had 18 touchdowns his final year with Green Bay in 1994. So I mean, that's going to be one of those deals like Terrell Davis, I suppose, was. It's short, but it's spectacular, and so you've got to kind of make your decision there. But again, even with him, and that's why I go back to, and I keep going back to, and it's kind of silly again with where the Pro Bowl is today. But historically, there's somewhat of a line. I don't know how many guys have made 5 Pro Bowls and have not made it to the Hall of Fame, but there's usually kind of a line once you get past 4. You're kind of usually included. That was the case for Sterling Sharp.
All right, Bock, let's go to break. And when we come back, we're going to try to answer our own question. We're going to see who deserves to be in or out in this year's. We're going to do it before it's been selected. I got all the players this year, Bock, and we're going to see if they're in or out, because we already know Eli said he's not in. Ooh. So we'll talk about that when we come back. More at Bock the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Culture and Coffee with Mike Smith and the Bowie Boys is back this Friday, February 6th, featuring members from the Nebraska baseball team. Stop by this Friday between 5 and 8 p.m. as we turn the ticket into a skate park. You heard that right, a skate park, and also highlight the upcoming year for Husker baseball with players from the team. Again, that's 5 to 8 p.m. this Friday, February 6th, for a live broadcast of Culture and Coffee from 5 to 7 p.m. and a Vintage Market Plus skate experience hosted by the Bowie Boys from 7 to 8 p.m. This is a party you won't want to miss.
Anderson Ford in Lincoln has 2 convenient locations, which means 2 times the customer service, 2 times the inventory, and 2 times the ability to get you in the car of your dreams. Whether you visit us on the north side or the south side, you'll find more selection and a team that's always on your side. When you're looking for a better way to buy your next Ford, visit Anderson Ford in Lincoln, where exceptional service meets unbeatable selection.
Most resolutions for the new year fail before January is even over. Why not resolve to just be a little bit cleaner in 2026? Nebraska Auto Detail is here for you. Now through March 30th, if you purchase a ceramic coating, you'll get a free interior detail. There's no better way to start your year than taking care of your car and decluttering the mess that it becomes so easily. Book your detail today at NebraskaAutoDetail.com or call Joe and the team at 402-601-5086.
Stop asking your friends if they're hosting a party this Sunday and come join the real party instead. Join 93.7 The Ticket for the Super Bowl at Buffalo Wings and Rings at 68th and O this Sunday and walk away with great prizes just for showing up. Why worry about making a great spread of foods for the game at your house when you can enjoy all the great wings and more at Buffalo Wings and Rings? It's the Super Bowl party with 93.7 The Ticket at Buffalo Wings and Rings this Sunday at 68th and O.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program by building a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today. Hey guys, it's Austin Orman. Join me and former Husker Jay Foreman this Friday, February 6th for Old School, live from Back 9 Golf, just south of 14th and Pine Lake Roads in South Lincoln. We'll tell you all you need to know about the premier indoor golf place in Lincoln while enjoying Friday afternoon action of the Waste Management Open. Stop by for giveaways, prizes, and a tour of the facility. We hope to see you there on Friday, February 6th, beginning at 3 p.m. for Old School, live from Back 9 Golf in South Lincoln.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather.
Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today: a few flurries possible throughout the day. Otherwise, cloudy skies and calm winds. The high near 36. Tonight, some lingering flurries. Otherwise, mainly cloudy. A low around 23. And tomorrow, a chance of flurries. Otherwise, mainly cloudy with a light breeze and a high near 39. I'm meteorologist Kyle Hucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top-quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Bock the Blackshirt here on 93.7. The Ticket. We are powered
by
Bauer.
Infrastructure.
Bauer.
Underground.
Correct.
Excavating.
Shout out to the Bauer crews out there working hard throughout the Lincoln and Omaha areas. All right, Bock, we got 15 modern era players for the Hall of Famer. Let's see what we think, Bock. First on my list is Willie Anderson, tackle, 1996 to 2007 with the Cincinnati Bengals, and 2008 with the Ravens. I think this is his 5th time on the finals. His first time on the ballot was 2022. Bock, what do you think about Willie Anderson?
Well, it's his 13th year of eligibility, so he's been passed over before. He's anybody in this category, whether you're in the Hall of Fame or not, has had a wonderful career, and there's an argument for it, right? That's why you're a finalist. Blocked for 9,000-yard rushers. Had a couple, All-Pro seasons. First team All-Pro from 2004 to 2006. Again, great career. I think he's probably on the outside looking in. As we mentioned this, there are 15 guys as finalists this year and only 3 to 5 get in. So if it sounds like I'm saying no more often than yes, it's because it's a very elite class and a selection process. So there's only going to be a few guys that get in. I'd say Willie Anderson probably on the outside looking in.
Probably on the outside looking in. Better on the outside looking in, Bock, than don't look, period.
Say what?
It's better to look from the outside and to look, period.
Yeah, that's right. There's plenty of guys that'll never have their name even mentioned in this category. Yeah.
All right, Bob, we're going to go to the next one. Drew Brees, quarterback, 2001 through 2005, San Diego Chargers, 2006 to 2020 with the Saints. I think this is his first year of eligibility. I would say Drew Brees might be a lock, Bob.
I mean, he's got to be. Led the NFL in passing 7 times, 13 Pro Bowls. Career regular season stats are just crazy. He's got the second most passing yards in NFL history, the second most touchdowns in NFL history. And like you said, he's one of those guys, first year on the ballot. This is what a first year Hall of Fame career looks like. Don't forget his days with the Chargers, but really obviously made his career with the Saints.
All right, Bob. Jahari Evans is the next one. He's a guard, 2006 to 2016 with the New Orleans Saints. Last year, 2017, was with Green Bay. He's a guard. He's like Willie. He might have to wait longer than Willie Anderson. I think Willie Anderson gets in before him. He's going to have to sit and wait for a little bit, Bob.
Yeah, I mean, he did. He won a Super Bowl. Had a very good career, like you're saying. Obviously, all of what we're talking about there with Drew Brees, part of that, a big part of that anyway, was Jahari Evans in front of him. So, yeah, but I mean, kind of what you're saying. It's his now 4th year on the ballot and has been passed over before. I think 4-time EP, first team All Pro. Definitely could happen. I think it's like you said, just going to be a while for him.
All right, Bock, next on our list, Larry Fitzgerald, wide receiver, 2004 to 2020. Spent it all with one team, Bock, Arizona Cardinals. Larry Fitzgerald, Bock, first time in. I think he gets in, Bock.
I think he does too. I think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Led the NFL in receiving touchdowns twice. Of course, led the Cardinals to that Super Bowl. Was fantastic in that playoff run. He's ranked 2nd in NFL history. Anytime you're 2nd in NFL history, it's going to be hard to argue with for his career with 1,432 career receptions and 17,492 yards. Put Larry in the Hall of Fame.
All right, Bock, let's go to our next one. He's the oldest man alive that played in the... No, I'm just playing. Frank Gore. When we talk about Frank Gore, 2005 to 2014, he played with the 49ers. 2015 to 17, he played with the Indianapolis Colts. 2019, he played with Miami Dolphins. 2020, he played with Buffalo. And 2020, he played with the Jets. Is Frank Gore a first ballot Hall of Fame, even though he's on the rushing list, Bob?
Yeah, he's fourth in NFL history, at least from yards from scrimmage. I think he's the third. Third in NFL history with rushing yards, with exactly 16,000. Only 4.3 yards per carry. Again, that's the longevity, and that's all that. I think he gets in eventually. I don't think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, and it's always going to be interesting to follow how long it takes for him to get in. I mean, he could be the next Roger Craig, because there are going to be certain stats that you can argue, certainly, and obviously a very different career. I'm not saying that. I just think he could wait quite a bit of time, because it's always going to stand out the total amount of yards he had. But again, is this the Hall of Fame, or is this the Hall of really good, right? And that's where Frank Gore is always going to be hurt. When you think about Hall of Fame, you think about guys that had to be the best at their position in the league for several years, or at least be in that category. Frank Gore was always one of the best, a top 10 running back, but how often was he a top 5 running back?
You're right, Bob. You're right. I don't think Frank Gore gets in on the first try, even though he's one of the top rushers in all-time leading stats for the NFL. You talk about a guy who put in probably more years than Jerry Rice, but at the same time, he's not. He's third on the list, but is he a Barry Sanders type running back? Is he a Walter Payton type running back? Is he a Emmitt Smith type of running back? No, because those guys played less years and had more yards, Bach. So I agree with you on that one. Frank Gore is not a first team ballot Hall of Famer. So we done out of the 5 we done did, Bach, we agreed on 2 that's going to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
All right, Bach, let's go to the next one. Torrey Holt, wide receiver, 1999 to 2008 with the St. Louis Rams, 2009 with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Bach, and this is Torrey's 7th time on this list. It might be 8 now, Bach. I just don't see Torrey Holt as a Terrell Owens type guy, or Jerry Rice, or a Randy Moss,
even Larry Fitzgerald.
Larry Fitzgerald. He's not in that. He's not in that upper, what they call it,
the upper tier.
Yeah, the upper tier, upper echelon type of guy.
Yeah.
So he's not up there with them type of guys.
I'd agree with you. It was one of my favorites growing up when he played for the Wolfpack, and then with Isaac Bruce there on The Greatest Show on Turf. So, if it's one of my favorites, I'll put him in. But if it's just in general, probably not right there. Again, 7 Pro Bowls for him, All-Pro in 2003, but just second team All-Pro in 2006. So again, that goes back to what I was talking about with Frank Gore, consistently, maybe one of the top 10, 15 receivers in the NFL, but how many times was he a top 5 receiver in the NFL?
You're right about that one, Bach. Let's go to our next one, Bach. Luke Kuechly.
Yep.
Luke Kuechly, great linebacker, cut short because of injuries when he played, Bach, but I like the guy. Let's see. This is his 2nd time on the list. He played for Carolina, didn't he, Bach?
Yes, he did.
Carolina from 2012 to 2019 on his 7-year career. Bach, I think he waits a little bit longer.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this one is the one I'm almost most interested in, again, because of the short period of time that he played. But when he played, he was absolutely fantastic. He won the Butkus Award in the NFL for the top linebacker in the league in 3 out of his 8 seasons. So that's a heck of an accomplishment. He has tied the record as far as single tackles in a game. He had 24 against the Saints at one time. He was a defensive player of the year at one time, first team AP and Pro Bowl, at one time. But like you said, I mean, it's going to be tough. This is his 2nd year. I think he's the closest in this class to being in without maybe getting in this year.
All right, Bach, let's go to our next one. Eli Manning. Bach, did you check Eli up? Did you look him up real quick to see that? I remember somebody saying that he told he didn't make it. But let's talk about Eli Manning. 2004, 2019, New York Giants. Peyton Manning youngest brother, Arch son.
Yeah.
And Eli, what's the other
Archie's son. Arch is uncle.
Arch is Arch uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think about Eli Manning, Bach? Did somebody say that? Did you look that up?
I did look it up. I'm not seeing anything quite yet on it as far as officially being out. or getting the call that he wouldn't be in. So I think he might still be up. But either way, I don't think he's going to be one that people are going to argue with for years if he gets in or not. It is his second year up for it. A lot of this is built on 2 Super Bowl runs. Was there some luck involved in there? But he's the man that beat Brady twice. And obviously 2 Super Bowl championships in New York. Very big deal. But just a 4-time Pro Bowler, his stats aren't going to overwhelm you. As far as touchdown to interception ratio, just because he did sling the ball quite a bit, and his interceptions at times would get out of hand. At 27 interceptions in 2013, 25 in 2010, and even 20 interceptions in 2007. So I don't know. I would say no. I think he gets in eventually, but I think he's going to have to wait his turn too.
All right, Bock. Let's go back to our list. Next on the list, Bock, is Terrell Suggs. Outside linebacker, defensive end, 2003 to 2018 Baltimore Ravens, 2019 your Arizona Cardinals, 2019 who is that? Kansas City Chiefs. Let's see what years this is, Bock. This is the second year. He might, Bock. Yeah, 50-50.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard, and I have to double check to see. I don't think he's in the College Football Hall of Fame, and he has the record for sacks in a season, which just absolutely surprised me. I believe he's got the NFL record for most career tackles for loss. He's an absolute force getting to the quarterback and disrupting plays. Only one first-team All-Pro in 2011, a little bit surprising. That was the year he did win Defensive Player of the Year, and of course, won Super Bowl titles twice there in his career as well. Double-digit sacks in 7 of his seasons. He's going to be, very close, but I don't know. I would put him in.
Yeah, I would put him in also. All right, Bock, up next, Adam Vinatieri, kicker, who he's with, the New England Patriots. Trying to get to my top line. Adam Vinatieri, 1996 to 2005, the Patriots, 2006 to 19 with the Colts. Bock, this is the same way I feel about Terrell Suggs as I feel Adam Vinatieri when we talk about kickers.
Yeah, his second time to be on the ballot here. I think he's got to get in, and whether it happens this year or not, it's going to happen eventually. 2 of the most clutch field goals, obviously, in Super Bowl history. Hit last second game winners against the St. Louis Rams and the Carolina Panthers. So that was absolutely huge. And I mean, you just look at his resume here. Holds the NFL record for career points. Can't keep the all-time point leader out. Holds the NFL record for consecutive field goals made with 44. Career field goals at 599. In most seasons with 100+ points, among many other records. He's got to get in. I get it. Kicking position. You're going to look at all these kickers. He's one of the best to ever do it.
All right, Bock. Next one up, Reggie Wayne, wide receiver, 2001 to 2014, Indiana Colts. Had a sidekick named Marvin Harrison.
That's right.
Didn't take that leap for me, Bock. This is his 7th time on the list. Bock, when I talk about Reggie Wayne, he didn't take that giant leap like Terrell Owens took that leap when Jerry Rice left. Terrell Owens took a big leap. He was the man. Reggie didn't take that leap when Marvin Harrison was gone, to me.
Yeah, Reggie Wayne was great, but I think he might fall short of the Pro Bowl, or excuse me, the Hall of Fame altogether. Don't think it's going to happen this year for him. It's just too crowded of a class. But I mean, he is, did very well in the postseason, second all-time leading receiver in the postseason. Just one first-team All-Pro honor for him. 6 Pro Bowls altogether. I don't think that's going to be enough here.
All right, Bock. Next is Kevin Williams. Kevin Williams played at 2013 to 2003 to 2013 with the Minnesota Vikings, 2014 with the Seattle Seahawks, 2015 with the New Orleans Saints. He's a defensive tackle. Bock, this is his first year eligibility. He doesn't have those type of, especially what's the good one that retired last year? Aaron Donald type of numbers. So Bock, I don't know. He doesn't even have Warren Sapp type of numbers. I think he wait a little while.
Yeah, I think he's gonna have to wait too. Like you said, he's a finalist for 1 year now, 6 years of eligibility. A 5-time first team all AP all pro. So definitely had his time in the sun. But again, I think too crowded a class specifically this year.
All right, Bob. Next, Jason Witten, tight end, 2003 to 2017 with the 2017 and 2019 with the Dallas Cowboys, 2020 with the Las Vegas Raiders. This is Jason Witten's first time.
Yeah.
He might make it, Bob. I think when you look at tight ends, they get overlooked a lot, but Wheaton got great numbers.
Yeah, he absolutely does. And I mean, 11 times as a Pro Bowler. I mean, he's just one of the best tight ends there's been out there on the field, especially in the receiving kind of era that he played in. So I think he's the first ballot.
All right, Bach. Darren Woodson, 4 times. He's been on it since 2000. Woodson played with the Cowboys 1992 to 2003. His 18th year of eligibility.
Yeah. Yep.
Woo. All right, Bach. I don't think he gets in. Not yet.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, he's definitely waiting for his year, but does not seem to be coming quite yet for him. Yeah, I mean, he's one of those guys, again, like I said, you're going to kind of in that 5 Pro Bowl type of conversation, 4 or 5, you're going to have to at least wait till there's a thinner class.
All right, Bach. Marshall Yander, 2-time, 2nd time on the list. He's played at 2007 to 2019 for the Baltimore Ravens. He's a guard tackle. 2nd year eligibility. I don't think he gets in, Bach. Not yet.
I don't think either, because he played his college ball at Iowa.
Yeah.
You got to get him out of there. But I mean, he might eventually. He's got 8 Pro Bowls, 2-time first team All Pro, a Super Bowl champion. But yeah, I think again against this class, there's only 3 to 5 of these guys getting in. I don't think he's one of them.
All right, Bach. That will conclude our all-star pick or Hall of Fame picks that we think, Bach. Out of this list, we did go. I'll probably say Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, Jason Witten, Adam Vinatieri's on the 50-50 side, and Terrell Suggs on the 50-50 side, and Luke
Kuechly, yeah,
50-50 side.
I agree with you. I think the shoe-ins definitely are Drew Brees and Larry Fitzgerald and Jason Witten. From there, again, my votes would maybe go with Kuechly, Suggs, and Vinatieri. Like I said, only 5 can do it. So if I had to take one of those guys out, I suppose Kuechly, because of his shorter time frame, might be the man left out.
You're right, Bach. All right, Bach, let's go to break, and when we come back, little NBA talk.
It's been a trade.
No, we're gonna no. We're not gonna talk about that yet.
Okay.
Next, we're gonna go with the top 10 Super Bowl halftime shows. We're gonna talk about some of the past Super Bowl halftime shows, and then we're gonna talk about this year Super Bowl halftime part show.
And we can give away some Super Bowl squares.
We sure can. And the next person that does it, when we come back, obviously, we'll give you one. 93.7 the ticket.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement.
Stop asking your friends if they're hosting a party this Sunday and come join the real party instead. Join 93.7 The Ticket for the Super Bowl at Buffalo Wings and Rings at 68th and O this Sunday and walk away with great prizes just for showing up. Why worry about making a great spread of foods for the game at your house when you can enjoy all the great wings and more at Buffalo Wings and Rings? It's the Super Bowl party with 93.7 The Ticket at Buffalo Wings and Rings this Sunday at 68th and O. Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program by building a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
The Black Crows are coming to Pinewood Bowl on Tuesday, August 4th, and we want to give you the chance to win free tickets. Tune in all week long for chances to win a pair of tickets each day on The Drive with me, Nick Sainert, and Aaron Davis this week only.
Hey guys, it's Austin Orman. Join me and former Husker Jay Foreman this Friday, February 6th for Old School, live from Back 9 Golf, just south of 14th and Pine Lake Roads in South Lincoln. We'll tell you all you need to know about the premier indoor golf place in Lincoln while enjoying Friday afternoon action of the Waste Management Open. Stop by for giveaways, prizes, and a tour of the facility. We hope to see you there on Friday, February 6th, beginning at 3 p.m. for Old School, live from Back 9 Golf in South Lincoln.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
This is your year to win way more than bragging rights. At Warhorse Casino, your love of the game could earn you serious cash. The Pro Football Frenzy is free to play with cash prizes all season long, like up to $1,000 weekly, with your chance at $1 million, all while earning tier points and comp points every time you place a sports bet. Only at Warhorse Casino. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Lincoln's Coffee Week is now Coffee Month in February. With 25 participating venues, visit and check into at least 10 for a chance to win a $250 gift card to the venue of your choice. More details at lincoln.org/coffee-month, brought to you by Visit Lincoln.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Let's fly. Your next trip starts at Lincoln Airport with American Airlines. Now flying nonstop service to Dallas, Fort Worth, and Chicago. American Airlines connects Lincoln to major hubs and destinations around the globe. Wherever you're headed, LNK gets you there with new nonstop flights on American Airlines.
Now boarding.
Convenient, fast, and stress-free. Book your next flight at LincolnAirport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
Most resolutions for the new year fail before January is even over. Why not resolve to just be a little bit cleaner in 2026? Nebraska Auto Detail is here for you. Now through March 30th, if you purchase a ceramic coating, you'll get a free interior detail. There's no better way to start your year than taking care of your car and decluttering the mess that it becomes so easily. Book your detail today at NebraskaAutoDetail.com or call Joe and the team at 402-601-5086.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Bock the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. We are on Monday through Friday from 1 to 3. Bock, as I look at this 7-on-7 tournament over the weekend, as a parent of a local Indiana team, threw a punch at a team out of Chicago. The 2 other eyewitnesses say it was the other way around, and someone from the Chicago team punched the Indiana coach first. Oof. Bock, it's 1,000 people out there fighting, Bock. And I think it's a shame when you go to 7-on-7 tournaments. And it also remember last month, Bach, there was a fight broke out at another 7-on-7 tournament when police said over 100 people were involved.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing you can say positively about that. It's embarrassing.
It starts when you're young, Bach. Yeah. It starts when you're young. Maybe some parents or some group or people shouldn't be able to do this. I mean, they should automatically say if you fight, you go to jail.
Yeah, and it's terrible. I mean, we've obviously seen, over the years, people,
they got players in here throwing punches. Yeah. 14 and 15-year-old kids.
Well, that's the problem. You got adults out there acting like kids, and the kids don't know any better, right? They're gonna swing in, and certainly tensions get high when whole families are out there fighting. That doesn't lead to anything good. And like I was saying, I mean, we've seen, I believe it was Aqib Talib's brother who passed away from gun violence in that. In these fights before. I mean, things can get so
his
heated.
Brother shot somebody.
Oh, that's what it was.
His brother killed somebody at a park in Texas. He ended up shooting the guy. The guy passed away, and now you have to look at that situation of it. I mean, it's only, we can say it's only football, but for us to succeed as people, we have to do what's right. And if you want to teach these kids the right way, you don't fight in front of them. You don't argue in front of them. You don't curse in front of them. Well, I wouldn't say curse, but
I try not to, right? But
yeah,
especially fighting and getting to throwing hands as an adult, that's an assault charge, right? That's a good path to going straight to jail. So it's embarrassing that it gets to that. Hopefully, we'll never see anything like that happen around here.
All right, Bach, I got the top 10 Super Bowl halftime shows. We can talk about it either way we go, Bach, but Bad Bunny name is going to be televised for it this weekend. So watch out for Bad Bunny. Bach, the 10 Super Bowls highlight halftime shows. They got, or I guess you could pick out of these 10, Bach.
Okay.
Number 1, Prince.
Yeah, a lot of people's favorite.
Number 2, Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson.
A lot of other people's favorite for a different reason.
All right, number 3, Dr. Dre, Snoop, Eminem, 50 Cent, and Mary J. Blige.
That was awesome. Yeah, that might be my
part
favorite.
about Snoop rolling up in the thing up there, if you know what I seen. 1993, Michael Jackson.
One of the original big time celebrity. That's when it really kind of started taking off.
All right, 2017, Lady Gaga.
Yes, who could forget her dropping from the ceiling?
Yeah, 2020, Jennifer Lopez and Shakira.
Those hips don't lie. Those hips don't lie. Those hips don't lie.
2009, Bruce Springsteen, Bob.
Okay, I'm not a huge Springsteen guy, so I don't remember that one, but a lot of people could like that.
2001, Aerosmith, NSYNC, Britney Spears, and Mary J. Blige.
That is the who's who of 2001.
2013, Beyonce and Destiny Child.
Yeah, that was good to see the reunion.
All right, and 25, Kendrick Lamar.
There you go.
And Zaza and Mustard.
Yeah.
Whatever that is.
I don't know.
If you had to pick one out of this whole group, Buck, I'll probably have to go with my number 1 would probably be Michael Jackson.
Yes.
And then 2007 Prince. And my third one would be, I'll go Bruce Springsteen, Bob.
There you go. Okay.
So that's my top 3 of those guys.
Everybody's got their own taste. I'd probably, again, I cannot get over the shock, even from at the time, the Janet Jackson, Justin Timberlake one. That got a whole lot of different conversations going. In Super Bowl after that kind of went a little bit safe from that way. So as far as most memorable, that's got to be the top. But I absolutely loved Dre and Snoop and everybody that got involved in that one. So that would probably be among my favorites. Lady Gaga, I think was fantastic when she went with hers. And so those would be probably, I'll say my top 3.
All right. Somebody said U2 2002.
Yes.
Kendrick Lamar was
tribute
the
to
best.
The 9/11 victims.
Cupster says Kendrick was the best, hands down. Ohio Huskers' last year was the worst of that list.
People have different opinions. How about, I'm surprised Rihanna didn't get in there. She announced she was pregnant basically at the end of that.
All right. Mustard is a DJ who makes instrumental for hip hop. Beach Boys didn't make the list. Maybe 89, 90.
Yeah. Who I was very disappointed in? I really like The Weeknd. Of course, he was given a tough one there. I think that was during COVID, but that one definitely didn't stand out in the good way, right?
Yeah. Kmart Steve says, you want to shut down fighting at 7-on-7 tournaments, take away any rights they have to NIL money when they play college football. You're right. That sounds like a great idea right there. Wish we can put that in writing, but we know them kids are sue for that, Bob.
Yeah, I mean, I think that sounds like a good idea. I think it would be tough to actually get into motion, but yeah, I mean, it is ugly. And you wonder too, sometimes like betting and stuff like that gets like you're betting on high school 7-on-7. You just need to find a new hobby.
All right, Bob, let's go to break. When we come back, did we lose another special teams coach, Bob? God darn it. Is it time for the black shirt to apply for a special teams coach? Maybe not. Maybe. We'll talk about it next. Bock on the Black Shirt, 93.7 The Ticket. We'll be right back.
It's hard to choose a favorite at Hog Wild, but I'd have to say it's their award-winning ribs. Hog Wild buys their meat from those who share their high-quality standards, then hand rubs each slab with their famous seasoning blend and slow smokes them over hickory each and every day for flavor and tenderness you're gonna keep coming back for. Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8. Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in the winter, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep the clubs out year-round. Book a bay with some friends for a weekend or come by for golf and happy hour on a weekday. Spring leagues begin in February. Get signed up today. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street, online at doubleeagle.golf.
Let's fly. Your next trip starts at Lincoln Airport with American Airlines. Now flying nonstop service to Dallas, Fort Worth, and Chicago. American Airlines connects Lincoln to major hubs and destinations around the globe. Wherever you're headed, LNK gets you there with new nonstop flights on American Airlines.
Now boarding.
Convenient, fast, and stress-free. Book your next flight at LincolnAirport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a few flurries possible throughout the day. Otherwise, cloudy skies and calm winds. The high near 36. Tonight, some lingering flurries. Otherwise, mainly cloudy. A low around 23. And tomorrow, a chance of flurries. Otherwise, mainly cloudy with a light breeze and a high near 39. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you tired of your usual barbershop experience? Stop into Scissors and Scotch today. I know what you're thinking. Drink during a haircut? Don't worry. First comes the precision cut from one of their experienced barbers, followed by your complimentary cocktail in their upscale lounge. Scissors and Scotch blends your old school barber feel with your favorite watering hole. And now you can earn $10 off by simply mentioning the ticket. And if you're an existing member, still mention the ticket for an exclusive offer. Offer valid at Lincoln location only. Scissors and Scotch, located just south of 30th and Yankee Hill, and online at lincoln.scissorscotch.com.
Anderson Ford in Lincoln has 2 convenient locations, which means 2 times the customer service, 2 times the inventory, and 2 times the ability to get you in the car of your dreams. Whether you visit us on the north side or the south side, you'll find more selection and a team that's always on your side. When you're looking for a better way to buy your next Ford, visit Anderson Ford in Lincoln, where exceptional service meets unbeatable selection.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Lincoln's Coffee Week is now Coffee Month in February. With 25 participating venues, visit and check into at least 10 for a chance to win a $250 gift card to the venue of your choice. More details at lincoln.org/coffee-month, brought to you by Visit Lincoln.
Rick Heyman here from Sauter Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sauter Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sauterheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt.
Terrell Farley, defending Terrell Farley, who last week in his first start was a holy terror, number 43.
And Jake Bakovic. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Powered by Bauer.
Welcome to Bock the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. We're on Monday through Friday from 1 to 3. Bock, you got anything before we start out saying, oh, you know what, Bock? Let's give out a square.
Let's do squares. Yes,
give us a square.
Yes, text in square right now, 402-464-5685 to win a Super Bowl square. In fact, we're a little bit behind, so you know what? Let's go ahead and do 3 squares, 3 winners. For just texting in square right now. Please include your name if you can
3?
as well. Yeah, we're going to give away 3 winners.
Damn it, Bock. I mean, good job, Bock. Rubber Ducky, Aaron, and 4245.
Yeah, there we go. If 4245, you text in your name, you'll be good from there. And then you guys, as you know, if you've won a square, you can't win another one, so you don't have to participate in our square given away throughout the remainder of the week because you've already got one. We'll give away a few more squares throughout the remainder of the show.
All right, Bock. That was a fast one right there.
Oh, I also wanted to miss just to wrap up some things because I was reading on the Super Bowl halftime show. So apparently last year's Super Bowl halftime show, which we got kind of mixed reviews there on the text line with Kendrick Lamar, it's the most watched Super Bowl halftime show with a TV audience of more than 133.5 million viewers. The Super Bowl halftime show with Dr. Dre that we were mentioning is the most viewed Super Bowl halftime show on YouTube with over 322 million views on the NFL YouTube channel. Looks like on an online metrics, Ticket Source says that the halftime show with Shakira and Jennifer Lopez is the most popular halftime show worldwide. And then the Super halftime show featuring Lady Gaga was the most nominated Super Bowl halftime show in Emmy Award history, including winning 1 Emmy. So there's some Super Bowl facts that you can carry with you throughout the remainder of the week as we kind of set our favorite or some of the best, but those are a little bit more by the numbers.
All right, Bock. One of our Huskers assistants involved in Nebraska special team operation has been hired to a head coaching position in Texas high school ranks. Josh Martin has been announced as the head coach of Liberty Christian in RG, Texas. It's a strong program that was previously coached by former NFL standout Jason Witten. Coach Martin has been holding the same title for Husker special team coach for the past 3 years. He's been on this staff. And now he's out, Bob.
Yeah, it's kind of a shocking move. I think a lot of people expected, at least for Martin, to be the special teams coordinator, to take over for Mike Eckler. He did have special teams coordinating history throughout his career thus far. Has been with Nebraska among the 3 that maybe were up for the promotion. Had been with Nebraska the longest. He stepped in 2023. When the tight ends coach got a DUI and was dismissed and was the tight end coach for that year. So it just seemed like he would be the logical choice to step in next. But if I'm reading this correctly, I would be surprised if he would turn down a special teams coordinator job and the money that it entails to take a high school head coaching job in Texas. Now, it is important to note this isn't Texas. This is a big-time high school job. Jason Witten just took the Oklahoma tight end coach job. He was the previous coach there. Of course, like as we mentioned earlier in the show, he is up for the NFL Hall of Fame. So, this is a story that I think needs a little bit more details about how we arrived to this point, because if Martin straight up chose the high school job over the Nebraska special teams coordinating job, that's going to tell you a lot. Now, maybe Martin has some connections down there to Texas. Maybe it has something to do with family or otherwise there. But there is a possibility he just also was feeling maybe he wasn't going to get the special teams coordinating job. And so maybe he was kind of staying in place, feeling like he was kind of stuck in place. Obviously there's the opportunity to be a head coach. I'll never forget when we had Mickey Joseph on here and I asked him because he seemingly could have had a lot of different opportunities and different jobs. And I asked him why you chose to be the head coach at Grambling. He said, because I can't remember a paraphrase, but it's something like, I'm a dog. Like that's the goal. That's what you want to do. You want to be in charge of your program. So, it might just be his career goals along the way as well to eventually get his own program at some point, and thought that this was too good of a job to pass up in that capacity. But taking all that else aside, if he was in line to take the coordinating job here at Nebraska and he took a high school job instead, it is not a good look, especially when you've had other coaches in the past on this coaching staff seemingly take lateral jobs. Now, you can argue about Tony White's move to Florida State. Was that a lateral job? Again, that gets into the mess of, was Butler kind of brought in? Was he pushing him out? And then you have him run Tony White's defense, and you don't like that after a year, so you scrap that. So it is, again, I think part of this is just the distrust from Husker Nation toward Coach Rule as far as kind of putting the best staff together or keeping the staff together or people enjoying working on staff or whatever it might be there. So that's more speculation than anything. But what we do know is, again, a Husker staffer, Josh Martin, leaving for the high school job. Until we get further details, it doesn't necessarily look that great. Now, again, going back to Brett Maher, possibly could be, a guy that Nebraska lands on here. If you remember when Mike Eckler was rumored to go, last time we heard Coach Rule kind of speak about this, is he said it was going to be an in-house replacement. And therefore, he did mention the names of Josh Martin, Brett Maher, and Nick Murphy. Brett Maher would be one, obviously, that he said something to the degree of being a secret weapon. I mean, that he's been very impressed with him outside of just the kicking and punting part of it, which you would expect from Brett Maher, former kicker and punter here at Nebraska and longtime NFL kicker. So, maybe they're leaning in that way. Ty might go to the runner as far as, hey, let's get a former Husker on staff to be the to take over for special teams. And if all goes well from there, maybe people will kind of quickly forget about Mike Eckler. And then the other possibility is Nick Humphrey, because they talked about how they at least have Eckler's system. Coach Rule said they have the system in place, so they're going to continue using that. That's why they want to go with the in-house replacement. And Humphrey has been a guy that came along with Coach Eckler and has stayed with Eckler departing, at least to as of what we know now, but followed Coach Eck from Tennessee. So I think between those two, you've got some interesting candidates to take over from special teams. I still think it'll be one of those guys taking the special teams coordinator job. I got to believe, just trying to connect the dots here, that maybe one of them is going to get the job. Martin had kind of caught wind of that and then started to kind of think about some of the other offers. And I'm not saying he started looking, because a lot of these guys are probably getting offers. They have offers they're sitting on to kind of think about where to move next, and maybe wanted to make that move at that point. But so we'll see. If Humphrey or Maher is named special teams coordinator, again, that's where I would connect the dots.
Yeah, Bob, but you're still gonna miss that fire that Eckler had, that adrenaline rush that he brought to the players. I don't think you would ever find that here at the University of Nebraska to anybody. I don't think a kicker, Brett Maher, he's a great kicker, but running that unit as a whole, are you trying to teach these guys how to run down there and knock fire out somebody like Eckler has been trying to preach it to their head? So big loss on two coaches. Hope we can get it together and find a great special team coach. Might be in-house, might be somewhere else. So we never know, Bob.
Yeah, and again, Matt Rule said it was going to come from in-house. He always could change his mind, to your point. Or maybe this, again, if it does happen that way, then I would assume Josh Martin was going to be the pick, because he was pretty confident coming out there and saying that. There's another name still in-house by the name of Ed Foley that has a little bit of experience as a special teams coach here at Nebraska. Definitely would not be the most popular hire. I would be surprised if they went that route. But I expect either Maher or Humphrey to get it. Is there any, for you, Terrell, kind of reading this news, trying to break it down? Again, I kind of go through the route that makes sense to me, and that's why I think that's where I'm kind of landing. But again, it could be signs of frustration on staff, or that sort of stuff. Does any of that kind of pop up to you as you're looking at this, or a guy taking a high school job?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it's weird because if he was gonna be the replacement for Eckler, you're talking about probably a $400,000 move. I mean, you talk about him coming to Texas. Texas still is a great place to coach. Probably looking at 150, 200,000. It depends, Bob. But at the same time, it raises some red flags a little bit because, you got a guy who's been here for 3 years, and then all of a sudden he takes a high school job over a coaching college job. And he probably just opened his eyes and say, hey, look, it's not looking good. Let me redirect myself to somewhere else. But at the same time, we'll find out more about this special team unit. If it comes back to bite us in the butt next year, Bach, it's only one guy to blame. So, but we'll have to worry about that part till the season starts.
But it's just so interesting. Obviously, if you take a step back and look at the coaching moves this offseason, this is just another one. And again, that's where I go back to, I think Husker fans are just wondering, and I don't want to say doubting, but not necessarily giving the benefit of the doubt to Coach Rule at this point in his tenure on making the proper picks and proper selections. Now, obviously, he's going to have to live with it. Nebraska fans will too. But, obviously he's doing what he has to do, or what he thinks to do is best moving forward. But, you take a step back, and again, you look at kind of, I think, a mismanaged defensive coordinator position over the last several years. Then you lose your best assistant, at least according to you. They nominated Coach Eckler as the Bros Award finalist from Nebraska. Every team gets to nominate an assistant coach. That's who they went with. So you lose him. Obviously make some moves on the offensive line. I think people are more receptive to that. With the whole Raiola kind of movement moving on from that. People are excited for Jeep Wade and what he can bring with that. I think Rob Orich, as a defensive coordinator, certainly interesting, but it's kind of rubber meets road type of discussion with him. Doesn't have a long history of being a defensive coordinator, but did have fantastic stats at San Diego State. But there could be an argument he had some of the best players at San Diego State in the Mountain West, so maybe you should have had some pretty good stats out there. So, not going to necessarily have that, or at least doesn't look like that heading into Big Ten play going to have to do more with less on, at least compared to the rest of the conference, right? In the Big Ten. And again, so I think this is just another move, and it's strange because we keep talking about it, and I don't want to be the one that keeps coming back and saying it, but I think more and more people are starting to believe it and see it, and that Nebraska is not necessarily winning the offseason. That doesn't mean they can't win in the season. That doesn't mean they aren't actually winning the offseason. As far as like making the right moves and moving forward, it's just as far as stuff that kind of get you motivated to think that this team is turning in the right direction to, not land top 100 players in the transfer portal. Again, maybe you did. I mean, you can rank them. These different sites can rank them all you want. There's only so many guys that won Conference Player of the Year. Anthony Calandria did. But even in that case, that was kind of, they almost backed into that because their original idea was Kenny Menchie, who again, depending on what you want, would have been ranked in the top 100 of the transfer portal players out there available. So, I just feel like this is another move to kind of add on top of doubt and of uncertainty with this offseason and not necessarily winning the offseason. Again, I don't think this was going to swing majorly, whether he was your special teams coordinator or they go with Maher or Humphrey. I'm not going to go from, they're going to win 7 games, they're going to win 9 games, or whatever system you're going to go through there. There's still whoever it is that they choose as special teams coach is going to have to prove it. It's going to have to show the results on the field and that standard is going to be from where Eckler left it. So, it's just so intriguing. I just don't know. And we'll see. As we talk about winning the offseason, signing day coming up here around the corner. They're still in on the top uncommitted player in the nation, a 330-pounder in Dylan Berryman. If they can win him on signing day, get his services, that at least could be one deal or one day where you feel like Nebraska is winning the offseason or would kind of be the story of college football for that day. But other than that, I don't know if this particular situation is all that dire, but it just is kind of adding to the list of questions around the football program.
All right, Bob. When is signing day, Bob?
Signing day is the 5th. So we got 2 days here. Or is it usually it's on a Wednesday, which is why I was thrown off a little bit by that. I believe it's the 5th. Let me double check here. Take me a second to type it in. But yeah, usually it's on the first Wednesday in February. Somebody's probably going to Google it before I do. But yeah, there's not too much.
Wednesday, February 4th.
February 4th.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, for some reason I was thinking the 5th, but yeah, the 4th. Yeah. That makes more sense.
All right, we'll keep y'all in the loop as the day go on Wednesday, February 4th. Maybe we can have somebody sign in our class, Bach, and we can go over it, but we sure will go over all the Husker signees for this year class, and we'll talk about them and get to know them more. But let's go to break, Bach, and when we come back, we'll do a little, we'll do a little NBA talk, Bach. Little NBA talk.
There's a trade. There's a trade today.
There's plenty of trades, plenty of things going on for the All-Star game that's coming up that we'll talk about here next on Bock the Blackshirt, 93.7 The Ticket.
Anderson Ford in Lincoln has 2 convenient locations, which means 2 times the customer service, 2 times the inventory, and 2 times the ability to get you in the car of your dreams. Whether you visit us on the north side or the south side, you'll find more selection and a team that's always on your side. When you're looking for a better way to buy your next Ford, visit Anderson Ford in Lincoln, where exceptional service meets unbeatable selection.
Let's fly. Your next trip starts at Lincoln Airport with American Airlines. Now flying nonstop service to Dallas, Fort Worth, and Chicago. American Airlines connects Lincoln to major hubs and destinations around the globe. Wherever you're headed, LNK gets you there with new nonstop flights on American Airlines.
Now boarding.
Convenient, fast, and stress-free. Book your next flight at LincolnAirport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a few flurries possible throughout the day. Otherwise, cloudy skies and calm winds. The high near 36. Tonight, some lingering flurries. Otherwise, mainly cloudy. A low around 23. And tomorrow, a chance of flurries. Otherwise, mainly cloudy with a light breeze and a high near 39. I'm meteorologist Kyle Hucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320. For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O.
This is your year to win way more than bragging rights. At Warhorse Casino, your love of the game could earn you serious cash. The Pro Football Frenzy is free to play with cash prizes all season long, like up to $1,000 weekly, with your chance at $1 million, all while earning tier points and comp points every time you place a sports bet. Only at Warhorse Casino. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at gainatrucking.com.
Make your next event unforgettable with Grazing Gouda, your local artists and experts in charcuterie and grazed tables. From boardrooms to ballrooms, they turn gatherings into experiences with stunning spreads of artesian cheeses, cured meats, fresh fruits, and gourmet bites. Perfect for corporate luncheons, weddings, parties, or any celebration that deserves a wow moment. They handle the details. You take the compliments. Book your graze table today at GrazingGouda.com. Grazing Gouda, because every event deserves to be savored.
The Black Crows are coming to Pinewood Bowl on Tuesday, August 4th, and we want to give you the chance to win free tickets. Tune in all week long for chances to win a pair of tickets each day on The Drive with me, Nick Sainert, and Aaron Davis this week only. Are you tired of your usual barbershop experience? Stop into Scissors and Scotch today. I know what you're thinking. Drink during a haircut? Don't worry. First comes the precision cut from one of their experienced barbers, followed by your complimentary cocktail in their upscale lounge. Scissors and Scotch blends your old school barber feel with your favorite watering hole. And now you can earn $10 off by simply mentioning the ticket. And if you're an existing member, still mention the ticket for an exclusive offer. Offer valid at Lincoln location only. Scissors and Scotch, located just south of 30th and Yankee Hill, and online at lincoln.scissorscotch.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Dinner and a movie? You've done that. Arbor Axe House has a date night deal that really hits. This Valentine's Day, enjoy a special rate that includes an hour of axe throwing for 2 plus drinks and koozies. Reserve your lane today at arbораxe.com. Arbor Axe House on the corner of N Street and Antelope Valley.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions. You're listening to Bock and the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Bock and the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. We're on for from Monday to Friday from 1 to 3. We are powered
by
Bauer.
Infrastructure.
Bauer.
Underground.
Brett.
Excavating.
Guess what, y'all? Square. Let's get a square outfit. First person to type square, we'll give you one.
Yes, our Super Bowl party again. Buffalo Wings and Rings this Sunday. Be there and have a square. Get a square. First 100 people in the building will get a square too. Our party starts, I think, around 4 is when you're going to want to look to get in there. Hunter is the first person to type it in today, or in this segment anyways. Hunter, you have won a square.
All right, Hunter. There you go. Got a square. All right, Bock, let's turn our attention to basketball, where a lot of trades are about to go up. Bock, I think it's 2 days left for the trade deadline. Ja Morant, James Harden, Giannis, whatever his last. Yeah, and now you say that somebody else got traded today.
Yes, there's been a few trades now, but the big one, we'll start with that, is Jaren Jackson being traded in an 8-player deal from the Memphis Grizzlies to the Utah Jazz. Now, both these teams currently not in playoff contention, but the Jazz are going to make a push for this. Of course, they've got Lauri Markkanen there in the front court, so pairing him with Jaren Jackson will be the new direction of the Utah Jazz. Memphis, in return for this, will receive 3 first-round draft picks. So that's kind of the big haul for their getting rid of their star. Jackson, by the way, what was made it a little bit surprising is I think in the third year of a 5-year deal. Might have been 4 years. Either way, he's got a few more years left in his deal, so I didn't necessarily expect him to get traded here, but he does. He's a 2-time All-Star, was the NBA Defensive Player of the Year back in 2022 and 2023. 4 seasons remaining on his deal, in fact, as I look into it. There's other players involved as well. Memphis will also receive Walter Clayton Jr., Kyle Anderson, Taylor Hendricks, and George Niang. Of course, George Niang, a former Iowa State player who played for Coach Hoiberg over there with the Cyclones, still in the league. The Jazz will also get Jack Landell, John Concher, and Vince Williams Jr. in the deal, but this, again, was more about the 3 draft picks that they're going to get. Memphis now has 12 first-round draft picks over the next 7 seasons. So they are, remember, they also acquired 4 first-round draft picks this past year by trading Desmond Bane to the Orlando Magic. So they're kind of in full rebuild mode there with the Grizzlies, which is interesting. Does that mean Ja Morant is going to be traded here in the next couple of days? They seem to be getting rid of all of their kind of core players. Also, to note in this deal, Memphis created a $28.8 million trade exception in this Jackson deal, which is the largest in NBA history. So that could be something that they can use for them moving forward. So that is the biggest trade of the day, but it's not the only trade of the day, as the Chicago, Minnesota, and Detroit have agreed to a multi-team deal. They'll send Jaden Ivey and Mike Conley to the Bulls. Jaden Ivey, of course, former Purdue product, top 5 pick a few years ago, hasn't necessarily gotten his NBA career going to where they wanted it to be. So we'll see what happens with that. Mike Conley, of course, very, very much a veteran in this league. Would be interested to see what happens to him. He's kind of very much taken on that veteran role this year after being the longtime starting point guard in the league, only averaging 4.5 points this year. So kind of some bigger names there, I suppose, that aren't necessarily taking off. But in any case, Kevin Huerter, probably the biggest name in this deal, and Dario Saric moved to the Pistons. And the Pistons, if you have been following NBA basketball, pretty darn good team. So now you have Kevin Huerter, a 3-point sharpshooter with certainly some length to him, averages 11 points per game this far in the season. Dario Saric, a name that maybe you once recognized from playing NBA basketball. He's been more of kind of a bench warmer these last couple of years. So again, he's not so much in this. It's the bigger one is Kevin Huerter going to the Pistons. Of course, like we say, the Pistons are on the top of the NBA standings right now in the Eastern Conference. So they're loading up to make a run this season at the championship.
All right, Bock, let's turn our attention to the NBA All-Star, which is just 2 weeks away. The starters were announced on the 19th, include Luka, Steph, Joker, Victor, and reigning MVP Shane Gilgeous-Alexander. In the West, Jalen Brunson, Kate Cunningham, Jalen Brown, Guinness Acapulco, and Tyrese Maxey were named the starters in the East. The reserve will announce Sunday, which includes LA's Lakers stars LeBron James on his 22nd
22. That's
22
crazy.
NBA All-Star games, which is a record. He also will be joined by Kevin Durant in the West, as well as Donovan Mitchell and Carl Anthony Townsend in the East.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, a lot of guys kind of getting their first looks here, including Norman Powell out there with the Heat, Jalen Johnson with the Hawks, Jalen Duren, who, by the way, is going to be in the dunk contest this year. No Mac McClung. So Jalen Duren going to get an opportunity as the all-star slash slam dunk competitor. Other first-timers also include, to a surprise by many, Jamal Murray. This is his first all-star appearance. Of course, one of the better point guards in the league for several years, but has stepped it up this year, averaging almost or over 25.5 points per game. Also, Denny Avdija from the Trailblazers, his first all-star appearance as well. So, should be kind of entertaining. We'll see again. Remember, they do this year. You still make the selections from the Eastern and Western Conference, but I believe they're separating the teams into 2 American teams and 1 world team to kind of compete against each other. Again, we opened up the show talking about the problems the Pro Bowl has. The NBA All-Star Game has had a problem with specifically defense for several years, and they've been trying to pivot different ways to make that more entertaining. And so that's how they're going to go about that. By the way, before we get too far off the NBA trades, because we announced the official ones that have gone through today, is that there are a few big names on the market right now. The Bucks are countering trade offers for Giannis Antetokounmpo, of course, one of the best players alive, at this time, 12 plus years with the Bucks, but he informed them, for several months now that it looks like this should be the end. They should find a partner, a trading partner for him. So we'll see kind of what happens there. The other big news, like in the middle of the night, was announced that James Harden is very heavily on the trade block. The Clippers are exploring a James Harden trade. Doesn't mean it's necessarily going to happen, but certainly looking that way. And Harden, of course, has been part of it, more so Kawhi Leonard, as part of putting the Clippers back into playoff contention. They started off like 6-21 or something. They were awful to begin the year. Now they're back in playoff contention. So maybe a move from Harden here would make some sense. Specifically, the Cavs seem to be the biggest whispers as far as who's kind of working with the Clippers at this point in targeting James Harden. The other one that could be interesting is Draymond Green. Has his name kind of in trade conversations. Of course, the longtime Golden State Warrior acknowledged that, that this could be the end for him too there with the Warriors. So some big names still out there that could hit the trade deadline before we're done here. And maybe that's where I was getting the I've got to check, because somewhere in my mind there is there's a deadline for the 5th. And maybe that was what I was thinking. So I believe the NBA trade deadline is the 5th, and that's where I got confused with the signing day from earlier. That's why I had the 5th in my mind. Yeah, that'll be the NBA trade deadline. So that'll be Thursday. Signing day tomorrow. NBA trade deadline on Thursday.
All right, Bock, let's go through our NBA all snub team. Paulo Banchero, forward for the Magic. He was left off. Bock, you took about a guy. Banchero is the top 25 in NBA in points and rebounds per game, while also averaging 4.9 assists entering Sundays. Those stats weren't enough to be selected to the All-Star team for the second time, Box.
Yeah. Surprised because he's kind of already had made it before, but I believe his numbers have dropped off a little bit from last year when he was an All-Star, averaging around 26 to averaging around 22.
All right, Bock. Next, Desmond Bane, guard, Orlando. Bane has been a great addition to the Mavericks, averaging 19.3, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists this season. The snub, however, keeps Bane from making his first All-Star appearance.
Yeah, and again, similar type of story there with him. Not so much as last year with the Grizzlies, but at times with the Grizzlies, he's averaged a little bit more, and his career high is 23.7. now at 19.4. And again, for these guys, if you're same what we were saying with the Hall of Fame earlier, if you are just on the outside looking in, you're still one of the best players in the world.
All right, Bob. Joel Embiid, center, Philadelphia 76ers. Embiid is averaging 26.2 points a game, 7.5 rebounds, 3.9 assists this season, but was likely injured only because he was only limited to 28 games, Bob.
Yeah, I think he'd be in if he played more games.
All right, Bob. James Harden, LA Clippers. Harden enters Sunday ranked 17th in the NBA in scoring with 25.4, along with his 8.1 assists and his 3.1 3-pointers made per game.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, he's definitely made the All-Star game several times throughout his career. I believe he's number 9. I think he just surpassed Shaq recently in the all-time scoring list. Again, could be on his way to a new team, but he has elevated his game over the last couple of years. Looked like when he first joined the Clippers that that might be the last of the All-Star like performances we've seen from James Harden, but he's turned it on. I am a bit surprised to see him left off the list.
All right, Bob. Brandon Ingram, guard from forward from Toronto Raptors. Ingram planned on bringing his rap girlfriend Gorilla with him to Los Angeles had he been named to the NBA All-Star season for the second time. But after being snubbed, they will go somewhere else. He averages 21.9 points a game, 5.9 rebounds a game, 3.7 assists a game, Bob.
Yeah, again, solid numbers for a new team, the Toronto Raptors this year. And they're doing fine enough, 30-21. He's among or probably the biggest reason for that for the Toronto Raptors. So, they definitely has his argument. I didn't not know that he was I don't want to say it wrong. Her name's Gorilla?
Glorilla.
Glorilla. Oh,
Yeah.
Glorilla. Okay, now I know what you're talking about. I was gonna say there's new stars every day. I don't know who's going on. I never check who's dating who.
Yeah.
I mostly couldn't care less, but with a name like that, it kind of surprised me.
All right, Bach. Next on our list, Kawhi Leonard, snub team. Leonard has the Clippers' best in career high 27.7 points Sunday, which ranks 7th in the NBA. He also leads the NBA in steals per game and free throw percentage.
Boy, that sounds like a snub. Now, again, for him, it might be maybe games played here. I mean, he did sit out a few. He's played in 36 games to this point for the Clippers. They've played 49, so he's missed about 13 games. But everything else is there. I'm surprised, especially with Kawhi not making it.
All right, Bach. Michael Porter Jr., forward, Brooklyn Nets. He's averaging 25.6 points a game, 7.3 rebounds a game, and 3.2 assists a game in his first season with Brooklyn.
Yeah, solid. And again, maybe it might be just the fact that Brooklyn is not the most popular team, I suppose, at this point, but he's majorly stepped it off. Obviously from all those years with the Nuggets, kind of playing as one of the role players, and this year in Brooklyn, he's kind of got his own team going there. But the problem is with your own team, it would be nice if you won some games. They're one of the NBA's worst at 13-35. So I think that's the bad team tax kind of coming back to bite him.
All right, Bach, that'll do it for our edition of NBA basketball here with Bock and the Blackshirt. When we come back, it'll be our final segment. But what I want to know, was this 2025 Indiana the best of all time, Bock? We'll talk about that more when we come back.
Hey, Nebraska, this is your moment. Love Nebraska is already making noise on the court, but they're still missing one thing, a nickname. That's where you come in. Love Nebraska is giving fans the chance to submit the team's official nickname. Fans will then vote on the finalists later this season. Head to lovneb.com/nameyourteam to submit your nickname and get in the game. Submissions end on February 22nd. Name your team, shape the legacy.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sartor Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and wow, what a year it was at Koppel. The Koppel family would like to say thank you for a record-setting sales year in 2025. Now let's start 2026 off with the bang. New GMC Sierra pickups starting at $12,500 off list or 0% APR. Also hot off the presses, new Terrain leases at $299 per month. That's right, $299 per month on new GMC Terrain leases. So please stop on in the store or online at koppelcars.com. Stock numbers G138852 and G165184, 2,500 down with proof credit.
Want to make the easy call? Call John Henry's. From leaky pipes to a broken AC, flickering lights to furnace fights, even drains and duct cleaning, we've got it handled. Plumbing, heating, air, and electrical, all under one trusted roof. Proudly serving homes across Lincoln, Omaha, and surrounding areas, and ready 24/7. Visit calljh.com or call John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Anderson Ford in Lincoln has 2 convenient locations, which means 2 times the customer service, 2 times the inventory, and 2 times the ability to get you in the car of your dreams. Whether you visit us on the north side or the south side, you'll find more selection and a team that's always on your side. When you're looking for a better way to buy your next Ford, visit Anderson Ford in Lincoln, where exceptional service meets unbeatable selection.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Dinner and a movie? You've done that. Arbor Axe House has a date night deal that really hits. This Valentine's Day, enjoy a special rate that includes an hour of axe throwing for 2 plus drinks and koozies. Reserve your lane today at arbораxe.com. Arbor Axe House on the corner of N Street and Antelope Valley.
The Black Crows are coming to Pinewood Bowl on Tuesday, August 4th, and we want to give you the chance to win free tickets. Tune in all week long for chances to win a pair of tickets each day on The Drive with me, Nick Sainert, and Aaron Davis this week only.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a few flurries possible throughout the day. Otherwise, cloudy skies and calm winds. The high near 36. Tonight, some lingering flurries. Otherwise, mainly cloudy. A low around 23. And tomorrow, a chance of flurries. Otherwise, mainly cloudy with a light breeze and a high near 39. I'm meteorologist Kyle Hucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
You're listening to Bock and the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Bock and the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's our last segment of the day before we give way to Austin Orman and the Star Guys when they talk about the hockey team, Bock.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is being our last segment, so it's our last chance to give away a Super Bowl square. So go ahead and text in 402-464-5685. The first one to do so will receive a Super Bowl square. Once again, we're having our Super Bowl party. Buffalo Wings and Rings.
I don't know what just happened, Bob.
I think Brian got it. Brian, 9113 is the first one to text in square. So congratulations, Brian. You have your chance to win surprises with us. Don't have to be there. More would be happy if you are. And again, those that can make it out, we're going to have a lot more Super Bowl squares to give away and prizes out there on Sunday.
All right, Bach, for our last segment today, Bach, we're going to talk about the 2025 Indiana Hoosiers who won the college football playoff championship, we must say. Let's see if they one of the best of all time, Bach. When you talk about them, they are national champions, 16-0 for the first time ever. Heisman winner, Big Ten champs, 479 season point differential, second highest in the AP poll era. Plus 22 in turnover margin, best in college football. They got the coach of the year, the player of the year, 19 players receiving all Big Ten honors, 5 players receiving All-American honors, Bach. If that's one of the best programs teams you can name, Bach, in the last, let's say, 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's a wonderful ride. Obviously, any team that's undefeated, that's what I love about college football, is you can start to put yourself into those arguments of greatest of all time because of college football the way it is now. Some of that point differential stuff and 16-0, that's, that just wasn't available to many of these teams over the last 20 years. So I would hesitate to put it there. But as you mentioned, I mean, coach of the year, Heisman Trophy winner, All-Americans littered all over the field. And then you've got, of course, the the schedule that allows them. I mean, they can go on and say, hey, you know what? We won the Peach Bowl, we won the Rose Bowl. So you can add those in there as well. Again, for me, whenever you do greatest of all time discussions, and we've got that loaded up as Nebraska fans, we know we've got our ammunition from the 71 and 95 teams who played very good competition throughout those seasons. Again, I go back to, are you looking for best, most talented, most dominant? And in my mind, if you're kind of trying to squeeze that all together, 95 Nebraska certainly has a heck of an argument. And again, here, I think you would say there's just a few closer games that Indiana had this season. Not that that's, you got to win the close games too, but if you're just pummeling everybody, you might have a better argument. Indiana, of course, beat Oregon this year 30-20. So that's a 10-point game. Beat Penn State, and not a very good Penn State team, right? In the context of greatest of all time kind of talks. Only beat them 27-24. The Big Ten championship game, won that 13-10. Of course, if Ohio State's kicker would have made that short field goal, who knows what happened there? And then outlasting Miami there 27-21. The other thing is, and I'm interested in the future as this college football playoff continues to expand, is just the quality of opponents they played in the postseason. Good, right? But not the seeding that of the highest seed, right? They're the number 1 seed. They play the number 9 seed Alabama, the number 5 seed Oregon, so that you missed out on the 4 seed there, and then the number 10 seed in Miami. So very clearly you missed out on plenty of teams there. So kind of interesting. I think that will make for more arguments the further we kind of get into this and more schedules that we can kind of compare. for what it was, I think it's one of the greatest stories in college football history. It is among the most amazing things I've seen watching college football throughout my entire life. Would I quite put them in greatest of all time conversations with, the Joe Burrow 2019 LSU team, or the 2001 Miami Hurricanes, or the 1995 Huskers, 97-1 Huskers? Probably not. I think they're probably a tier, below that. But hats off to them one way or the other. Again, that's the conversation we've been having all day. If you're in the discussion, you certainly are worthy of being there.
All right, Bock, I probably think they would probably be mentioning it, but not as a great when you talk about that. I wish if they probably would have blew out Miami in a fashion like Nebraska did Florida, then we probably be talking about that part of it, but they didn't. So, I think they had a great season. I think the Big Ten is stacked from top to bottom when you talk about just not Indiana's the only stacked team in the Big Ten. Could we possibly go for a four-peat, Bock?
Fourth time in a row, yeah.
So now it's 3. We are the team. We are the conference to beat. But how long can we hold on to that?
Yeah, that's going to be the next step in the interesting thing. Obviously, the Big Ten and SEC, the more we kind of get into these TV and revenue deals and make, more money is sent to both those conferences, the more the separation, the gap might start to become. But at the same time, again, your Miami was a drive away from knocking all those kind of narratives out the door. And then is the ACC the greatest conference? I don't think we'd get quite that far, but you'd have your argument with the team at the top. So the SEC is clearly down, not where it once was. The Big Ten has taken that foothold. And now, you kind of look into next year. Oregon, still a team, certainly could win a national championship. USC is putting together their staff. Michigan with Kyle Whittingham feels like it's I'm very excited to see what Kyle Whittingham can do with maybe a little bit of an elevated resources there compared to his time at Utah. So there's some teams coming up, and then of course you can't rule out Indiana repeating. I mean, who knows? This could be the start of a dynasty there, and then Ohio State's going to have a chance year in and year out. So the teams that are going to be there in the mix. The Big Ten is clearly the best. My next question from there is obviously, and maybe that money's played into it, all that sort of stuff. Is that going to bleed over into some other sports, specifically basketball? In basketball, of course, Nebraska going to be in the mix, and we can't wait for it for the national championship. I mean, who could have thought that? But that looks very well to be the case, as Nebraska is still in the top 10 despite a couple losses this past week. But you've got the other teams that are generally there. I mean, we know Michigan, Illinois looks the part. Purdue hopefully going to get back into it. But the crazy thing is the Big Ten has not won a national championship in basketball since the year 2000. Tom Izzo, that is crazy. That is a long time. Now they've been in them. They've been in national championship games, just have not brought home the trophy. And so again, I don't know, in the resources and all that sort of stuff, as the money continues to flood into the Big Ten and the SEC, and specifically the Big Ten in this conversation, will it bleed over into some of these other sports? And what will, what will that mean? I mean, in which sports does it bleed over to, right? Like the SEC, you figure, has been dominant in college baseball for the longest time. I don't expect that to go anywhere. So, I think that's just the next step for college basketball is hopefully, and we always do this. We always have arguments about where the Big Ten, they should be number 1 or number 2 as far as the conferences across the nation. But when you have a drought that's gone on since the year 2000, you can argue one of the best, but to be the best, at some point you got to cross that finish line.
All right, Bock, anything else before we close out the show today?
No, just thank everybody for listening to us today. Thanks to Kenny Wilhite, that's not here for K-Dub Tuesday, but was busy again out there with Midland and Coach Jamrog talking to the staff out there. So getting some more football knowledge shared. So thanks to Kenny for usually joining us here, and hopefully we can catch up with him next week.
All right. Thank you for listening to Bock the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. Stay tuned for Austin Orman and Jay Foreman up next.
The Lincoln Stars are back at home this weekend as they take on the Youngstown Phantoms at the Icebox. Friday night is Revenge of the Sixth, and Nebraska volleyball will drop the ceremonial first puck, with the force being strong at 7 o'clock.
Then on Saturday, the Stars and Phantoms go at it again with a 6 p.m. puck drop. 2 big nights of hockey, special teams, and nonstop action.